My parents took $3,500 from me without asking so they could pay for the house. My parents took 3,500 from me so that without asking so they could pay for the house we live in now. And now they need 2K from my savings to fix the car they have. Okay. Okay. So as I was saying before, right? We're just gonna kind of recap it and start all over. So I'm just gonna read the whole thing and we'll go from there. They now want me to pay rent and I'm about to go to college and only work part-time. It's really stressful right now and I'm struggling to keep my money up. I can move in to my boyfriend's parents' house. They take me while he's at college, but I'm scared to bring it up to my parents. Okay. So what I would say here is what I already spoke about this, but I'm gonna speak about it a little more in depth. So you're at the age and stage where you're already about to go to college, right? You're already about to pivot and become an adult and start the adult journey. And you've been staying with your family, and you know things happen, as I said before, and they know you have some savings, so they took it from you because they think, hey, well, guess what? Maybe we're not charging you rent or whatever, so they feel obligated. They feel that you're obligated to pay them when they need something. And the truth is, guys, when you're under your parents' house, as unfair as things may seem, it's their home. And because it's their home, it's their rules, right? And if it's a situation where it bothers you that much in your spirit, it bothers you that much in your mind, and you feel violated by that, or maybe even disrespected by that, which is definitely understandable, then I would if it was me, I would just get an apartment on my own. I tell people all the time, if you're not married, don't move in with your boyfriend. Don't move in with your girlfriend. 9 times out of 10, it leads to disaster. Even if it's just for a little bit, it most of the time never ends up well. The best thing to do if you got a little bit of money, and this is all situational, this is all based off what you want to do with your life, is you do have enough money to get an apartment, but you also have school coming up. So it's one of those situations where you say to yourself, okay, they want 2K now for the car. I've been working, I've been saving up. I need this money. I've been in these situations before. We've all been in, not all, but a lot of us have. I need this money, okay, for what I'm trying to do with my life. And unfortunately, guys, what ends up happening with family is that when you have a need and they have a need, they're going to see their need as a greater need than yours, because their need is survival based. Your need might be want based, inspiration based, goal based, right? It's an investment based need. I'm going to college. They're looking at like, well, I need this car paid for now, and you have the money, so we need that money. You're staying here and we need you to pay, and we need you to help us because we're helping you. And you know, it's a tough situation, man. That's a tough situation because, to be honest with you, both sides have an argument, right? And now, in an ideal world, we would never want this to happen, but we don't live in an ideal world, do we? Right? That's why you're going to school, because you're trying to better yourself. You're going to school because you're like, I want to change how I'm living life, not just financially, but I also want to do something more than just work a job. And so my advice to you would be this: weigh your options. It's your life. You're going to do whatever you want to do. Okay. You have the option with the boyfriend moving in for a little bit while school starts. And then you said, hey, I'm scared to tell my parents about it. Personally, I don't know y'all's relationship. Every household is different. This is why I don't really get into people's business, because everybody's business is different. I'm not going to tell you as a child or living underneath your parents' roof to tell your parents what to do. Okay. But all I could say is I hope that you would be able to say, mom and dad, or mom, or whoever, whatever your parental situation looks like, I need this $2,000. Okay, I'm trying to go to school. I have a goal. I have a plan. I have a dream. I just need a little more time, and I'll be out of here. I know you guys need help with the car. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, that's all you can say. And if they're like, nah, we out of here. I need this now. Then that's where you'll have to make the choice that feels right to you. Is it moving in with your boyfriend and your boyfriend's parents' house for a little bit of time until college? Is it moving, getting your own apartment until college? Is it calling up your college and saying, hey, is there early housing that I can get into now? People leave their parents' homes all the time. And I want to be careful how I speak on your situation because I don't know it. And I'm not one of those people to accuse anybody. But it's not uncommon for kids to leave their parents because they are being raised in an environment that they're doing better outside of that environment. They're doing worse at home than they would be if they just get up and left. There's a lot of girls that get up and leave and go with their boyfriend. There's a lot of guys that get up and leave, get with their girlfriend, or just to get away from home. And all I can say to your situation is do what's best for you, right? Do what works. Have a plan. Most importantly, you got to be prayed up. And hopefully you can be amicable with your parents. You don't want it to be this adversarial thing. But if they don't get it, they don't get it. I've been in those situations too, where I've had to make stands that I didn't like, but I had to protect my integrity and I had to protect my future. And sometimes the only way to do that is just for you to get up and go. Now, where you go and how you do that, that's up to you. But that's all I would say about that situation. But I'm sorry that you're going through that. And I'm grateful that you shared that with us here tonight. So, yeah, that's all I can say to you, champ. Right? Zach, thanks for sharing a lot. Yeah, and that's another good point that Rattlesnake brought up about people not being financially responsible, right? People not being financially literate. I can tell you're a person that saves your money. I can tell you're a person that's kind of wise with your money. And everybody don't have that. And so they're going to look at you like, oh, she's got it. I know. And that happened in my own life where I had to just start telling people no. Like, I don't mind helping people, but it got to the point where I said, I'll sleep in my car before I give you everything that I worked for because I have a plan with this money. And I'm not just taking this to just blow it. Yeah, my parents never taught me how to handle money. I just learned from them what not to do. Exactly. And sometimes that's going to be the only example you guys have is what not to do and what not to be. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's going to be the only example you have. And then you got to recreate your own path in your own life. And there was nobody that showed you the way. There was nobody that mentored you. Nobody taught you. Nobody was an example for you. It was just you. And that's why I always say we got to win from within. That's why I always say you got to seek the Most High because he's going to be the one to give you that guidance when no one else is there. When the TV's off, when the game is off, when the friends are gone, when the stream is, you know what I mean? It's just him and it's just you. So that's what I always say, because if you're trying to change your life, the hardest thing to do is to change your life, because you come from something that's resistant to the direction you're trying to go. If your family was successful already, you wouldn't be in that situation. But since you're the first person trying to be successful, there's a cycle of poverty in your family. There's a cycle of being complacent in your family. There's a cycle of mediocrity in your family. And you might be the first person trying to break that. So guess what? You're trying to change that, but the forces that be against you and your family don't want that. And so sometimes the best thing to do is just to go. Sometimes that's just the best thing to do. You know, and that's just really how it is. What's up, champ? What up? You're someone's birthday today, yo. My man Jacob. Damn, it's my man. Boy, it was my boy's birthday. I missed him. I'll get him next time. Happy birthday, bro. You mean I can't pick you up? I can be top 500. Still need to keep my money. Yup. Do I think Sojourner needs a nerf? Absolutely. She's never going to get nerfed. Ever. But people have been asking for her to get nerfed since the beginning of the time. They ain't going to nerf that girl. You know what I mean? I wish they did. She's a little too strong. I wish Hawk had a perk that hook can go through the bubbles. No, that's too much, bro. I'm a Hog main. That's gonna make him broken. Going crazy. You putting your trust in the EA. Nah, never that. Derek, welcome in. How's the games? Good. It's exactly what I did. Got an apartment, so I wouldn't have to go back to my toxic household. Exactly. You know, my parents haven't gone to college. They don't use emergency fund and have a really hard time saving. Exactly. Right. So we all have strengths and weaknesses in life. So you know your family better than anybody. But guys, like I say, right, life is about choices and life is about sacrifices. And so you got to ask yourself this, because it's your life. Okay. Is the life that I'm living, do I like my situation enough here right now to stay here? What up, Kendall? Or is it that bad to where I need to leave here? And that's the questions you got to ask yourself. And champs, everything's up to you from there. You know what I mean? Thanks, big champ. God speaks through you. I can feel it. Amen. And that's the thing, Jinx. God can speak to you and through you too, but you got to be connected to him. And when I tell y'all in the real way, I've been in situations where I thought I was going to be homeless, but I was willing to be homeless for what I believed in, because everybody's not going to support you. Everybody's not going to believe in you. And you got to be the one to believe in you, right? You got to place all the bets on yourself. And I'm going to tell y'all, sometimes the biggest haters in your life, they don't know it. Sometimes it's your family on the low. Sometimes the biggest haters in your life are going to be your family on the low, because they don't know any better. They go, oh, who does he think he is? Who does she think he is? You ain't. Jealousy is real. Because see, before you was born, maybe they tried to be something. Maybe they tried to go to school and it didn't work for them. So you never know what people are going through. So yeah, guys, that's it right there. I appreciate you guys sharing that. But that concludes the message of the night, champs. I got to go to work in the morning. God bless you guys. Remember, keep the prayers up, keep meditating, keep winning from within, one day at a time. I'll be on here, though, tomorrow around 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till then, champs, I'll see you on the next one, man. Shalom.